The only one who can create a new world is me.
Hey YouTube, what up? It's Lucifer here bringing you another video. Today I'm going to be doing how to side properly. I'm going to be going a little bit in depth with this. I get asked a lot, hey Lucifer, what do you side in against this deck? Or hey, can I borrow your side deck? So I'm just going to go into a little brief thing of how to side. So first things first, you always want to prepare for what the meta is, what you plan to go against. Let's say you're going to a regional. Chances are, right about now, you're going to be seeing a lot of Zoo, maybe some Infernoids, stuff like that. But almost everything's running Zoo these days. So what you want to side in is always, of course, you're going to have your main deck. Maybe you'll main a few side deck cards, such as we have Dark Hole, Raigeki, Twin Twister, etc. So don't think that this limits only to the side deck. You can main a few of these, especially like Dimensional Barrier. But continuing, there's really like the side deck is supposed to even your chances. It's not supposed to be anything like, oh, I side this in, I win immediately, because of course it's all up to chance. However, siding is it's simple and complicated to an extent. It also depends on what deck you are playing. So let's say that you are playing Zodiacs, you're up against a Zodiac matchup. Lullaby of Obedience is easily a game winner for you if you draw it. You steal their rat, use the effect to summon your 2 rats from the deck, and immediately you're practically back to full power and you're keeping one of their rats. On the other hand, let's say that you're playing Infernoids against Zodiacs. Maybe you're going to go for Dimensional Barrier if you're going first. Maybe you're going to use, Flying Sea, Maxi, etc. But what if you're up against Infernoids, Artifact Lancia? You know, it really depends on the deck you're against. So, let me just see. Let's say that we're going up against, let's go against Dinos, okay? So let's put it like that. The main deck is going to be what you have. Let's say that you're using Zodiacs, okay? Lullaby of Obedience can help a lot simply because of how, first off, yeah, lots of decks run Zodiacs, but even assuming your opponent isn't running Zodiacs, you practically get to see their deck, or you get to steal any one card that could be helpful for them. So Lullaby of Obedience can hurt you, can help you, but if you know what deck they're playing, it can be absolutely vital. But against dinosaurs, you're playing Zodiacs, what is really going to help? Imperial Order, if you stop their spells, you can help a ton. They stop their searches. If they're playing the version that has the field spell, that's great. You also eliminate their back row protection, but they don't tend to have very much back row either. So, along with Imperial Order, Anti-Spell is really just the nerfed version of Imperial Order. Instead of playing 3 Anti-Spell, you might play 2 Anti-Spell and 1 Imperial Order, or side deck 3 Anti-Spell, put the Imperial Order in, whatever. So, of course, this is what we have the fundamentals of. So let's just say, going first or second, you're going to side these in, just because you know that's going to help you so much. And this might not just be, this could also be for Metal Foe, Zodiacs, etc. But point is, these 3 are going to help. So these are going to be your staples. So, moving on to the turns, you really want to side based on if you're going first or second. If you're going first, you tend to put in more traps. So let's say 3-dimensional barrier, 3 royal, whatever you want. If you're going second, you tend to put in Raigeki, Dark Hole, the Kaiju engine, Flying Sea, hand traps, really. Well, of course, going first, you want to put in spells, traps that are going to just fuck up your opponent's plays, etc. So, let's actually... There's not really that much to go into with this. Oh, my Imperial Order is gone. Yeah, you can't really go that far in depth. It's really a matter of practice and knowing what goes into where. You can also side cards in from your into your extra. I use Abyss Dweller. Sometimes if my opponent is playing a Zoo deck, I'll put the Dryden in from the side into the main, and that really messes with them a lot. But yeah, so let's say that we are playing against... Let's say Paleozoics, why not? So first thing I'm always going to do is, of course, the Triple Decree for going first. And then let's put in the Triple Barrier again for going first. I don't really want different dimension ground, any monster, not any card specifically. I might not even want Imperial Order or Anti-Spell Fragrance. If they are playing the Lawmowing version and I'm playing a 40-card deck, maybe I'll put it in. If I'm playing my Infernoids, which is 60 cards, I'm not going to even bother. The Kaiju engine, I consider it to be the only side deck staple. Honestly, all the other cards, you can main Dimensional Barrier and whatever. You can main most of these cards in here. But the Kaijus is what I consider to be a staple on the side. Now, let's say there's a difference between Dogoran and Maxi. As you know, Maxi is to 1. If you're not playing Maxi in the main, you might want to put it in the side in place for Dogoran. Or you might want to put in Raigeki instead. Or you could just not run the Kaiju engine at all. And then put in a Raigeki, double Dark Hole. And these are, of course, for going second. Again, we're still going against Paleozoics. Backjack is an issue. Seeing Artifact Lancia could definitely help. But it also depends on your matchup, of course. If you're using Infernoids, you're not going to need to. Let's try a more unorthodox matchup. What about if we talk about Mermails, for example? Mermails, Lullaby of Obedience would definitely help Mermails, only because they can gain advantage however they want. Hand traps could also help. While yes, their hand space is small, the hand traps could definitely help to disrupt plays if they're forced to go second. Unless you're playing the OTK build, that's a difference. Another thing, mirror matches. Mirror matches are huge. Let's say you're playing Infernoids. You will always want to have 3 Lancia in your side, just in case you're in a mirror match. Lancia is just so good this format. Let's say you're in a mirror for Zoodiac, Lullaby. Even if you're playing, let's say, Infernoid Zoo or Zoo Metal, whatever, if your opponent's playing Zoo and you have Lullaby, it's just such a good advantage to gain. Diamond Dust is great against matchups like Mermails, or if you're playing up against Paleozoics. I wouldn't recommend it unless it's a mirror match to put in Diamond Dust, mainly because putting in 3 Royal Decree could help a lot more. However, you don't want to put Royal if you're the one playing Paleozoics as well, so Diamond Dust could be great to prevent those the frog plays, excuse me. Valor is a card that you don't really see sided anymore. Ghost Ogre also is put into the main much more often. But yeah, there's not too much to say about siding specifically. Only that it will, it's really more up to practice. Let me just go into one of my specific decks. Let's check out my Infernoids. So as anyone knows, of course, my Infernoids are one of my favorite builds. But yeah. So we have the triple Lancia for the mirror match. The triple Denko, that's mainly for the Paleozoic matchup. I don't run Royal Decree simply because I feel that it can be a complete pain in the ass to draw to later or whatever. Denko Sec is good going first or second. Maxi is in the side mainly because I didn't have what else to put in the side, but I could definitely swap it out for anything. Of course, also going first or second, Maxi is always great. Best hand trap in the game. It's the only reason that's at 1. The Dark Hole and Raigeki engine simply because I didn't want to mill the Kaijus and then have a dead Slumber in hand. That can be a complete pain. On the other hand, I could also hope to get the Slumber engraved, banish it, and add a Kaiju. But that's up to personal preference. I just went with the Raigeki Dark Hole combo because Infernoids are extremely versatile. And of course, having a Kaiju on my field can clog me in terms of levels. The third Twin Twister, a main 2, put in the third again for Paleozoics mainly. Also good against Metal Zoo. Dimensional Barrier, the 2 are in here, I main 1, and that's, again, mainly because of the Zoodiac matchup, but of course, Dimensional Barrier can be sided into any deck if you're going first. Solemn Scolding, any other Solemn, whatever, Solemn Strike can be replaced with it. But yeah, let's try my Yang Zing Dino build. As you can see, this deck tends to keep a few more hand traps. DD Crow is great this format for hand traps, so is Retaliating Sea. Retaliating Sea is mainly against Zoo, but of course any deck that runs Instant Fusion or Soul Charge, anything like that. Zoodia Barrage, all of it. Retaliating Sea is great. It's like a Dark Law. The 2 Lancia. Lancia, again, is just too good this format not to use it. This one I run the Kaiju engine mainly because, number 1, I'm already running 47 cards, but it's no mill power. Therefore, I won't have to worry about having a dead Slumber in hand. The Spell Fragrance, many people need to keep in mind that Anti-Spell Fragrance is only as good as how you use it. You don't want to activate it too early because, of course, you have your spells. It's great to set it and then start it off on your opponent's turn if you don't plan on extending your plays the next turn. Mirror Force is really like a freebie. If you don't want to put in any more Solemns, Mirror Force is a great way to go. And of course, Ghost Reborn of Cherries is never going to be bad, especially if you're running Zoo. You always want to have this inside. Get rid of their Trident, and you immediately have a massive advantage. So there's not much else to say about this. Uh, it's really just the fact that, yeah, every deck's side is going to be a little bit different. Let's look at my True Kings. I don't think I actually have a side for this one. No, I do. Yeah. You see, it also depends on the deck you're playing, of course. I'm running the 4 Kaiju engines here, mainly because I want to get in hand, and the only real draw power I have, 2 of which don't allow me to special summon. 1 of which banishes, so you never want to have a dead Kaiju Slumber. The Domain, of course, because I don't need to run an extra deck, I utilize what I can. The side deck really is what you want to open versatility with, and of course my back row popping over here. There's not much else to say about this. It's just the fact that you guys have to practice it, get used to it, know what your strong matchups are and what your weak matchups are, because your side deck is mainly going to be used against your weaknesses, against your strengths. I've come up with decks that I've never even had to side in against, but yeah, it's personal preference. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have luck in your siding in the future, and I will see you next time.
Where are you now?